it is Jade Ashley, and right now you are tuned in to When the Beat Drops. So if you're interested in seeing my 5 hot beats of the week, stay tuned for more. Hey guys, so let's get into this week's topic. So the first topic of this week would have to be Danity Kane. So late last week, Danity Kane basically announced that they will be releasing a new album entitled DK3, which will be out October 28th, and it is currently on iTunes for pre-order. And like everyone else, I was pretty much thrown off. Like, they're like, yeah, we're coming out with a new album, it comes out, yada yada yada. And I'm like, but didn't you guys break up again? So I mean, I guess the whole purpose of the album releasing is basically not to waste music, but I mean, come on, it's like, I'm so done with Danity Kane, to truthfully be honest. When they first, dismantled a couple of years ago, I actually cried because I was such a big Danity Kane fan. And then when they announced last year at the VMAs that they were coming back, I was so excited. And then, little by little, it was like we weren't hearing any music. We had Shannon, Dawn, and Aubrey left. And then out of like nowhere, probably like a month or two ago, they, I guess, like got into some fight in the studio, and then it was like group over. So, after that situation happened, I was like, you know what? I'm good on Danity Kane. They are no more. I just hope that they can just stay no more and just call it a day and leave it at that. And now they're having an album, so if anyone is interested in purchasing Danity Kane's, I guess, third and final album, DK3, it will be available on October 28th. And if you really are that interested, you can pre-order it on iTunes as of right now. So the second topic of this week would have to be Lil Kim's interview with The Breakfast Club. So let me just paint out the picture for you. It's early Monday morning. I'm sitting here, getting ready for school. And like every morning, I listen to The Breakfast Club on 105.1. So they're like, yeah, we got Lil Kim on The Breakfast Club this morning. And a lot of their interviews, before they air it on the radio, is like pre-recorded. So, and then the interviews aren't played as a whole on the radio. So I know for a fact that you would have to like go to their site to watch the whole interview. So I was listening to the interview, and one thing that, there are two things that stuck out that had everyone talking about this interview this week was, one, of course, Nicki Minaj, and two, of course, K.Michelle. So before I even give like my opinion as far as like what Kim, had to say about both Nicki and, K.Michelle, I first want to play the video for you guys. So hold on.
What's the situation with you and K.Michelle? K.Michelle was up here and
she said she was almost the baby's godmama.
Yeah, she was almost your child's godmom.
I didn't even know y'all was that tight.
She said she was almost the baby's godmom. Yeah. You done asked her, and then
he said, "Tell the truth."
That chick is a bag of pecans. Like a trail mix. What when you eating a trail mix, and you like all of the nuts that you like, you eat. And the nuts that you can't stand, that's just back in the... She's the bag of nuts that you put back in the...
Like a black jelly bean?
Yeah, like a black jelly bean.
Oh.
She is nuts. Yo, my son, she is so nuts. You are liable to see her skipping. Who skips? Who skips? No, chick is nuts, yo. I mean, first of all, why would I ever make her my child's godmother? I've only met this woman one time.
No.
You know what I mean? That's where your support system comes in at.
So. Well, Kim, people can say you be bullying Nicki because you be coming out with the diss records.
Why? Let me tell you. How could you even say that when she made the first record towards me?
Oh, that's true, but I thought it was squashed until the Flawless remix came.
But what do you mean squashed? She's continuously, if you listen to that remix, she's been waiting for so long just to even say the word Queen Bee, because that's how obsessed she is. You know what I mean? She's been waiting to say that. It's like, come on, you on a record with Beyonce. I had a record with Beyonce. I'm not saying nothing remotely so this chick could even think that I'm talking about. You know what I mean? We all know what it is. Let's just be real. See, it's so deep that when I finish putting together this document.
Yeah, so basically, I'll go in order as far as like how it was in the video. So about the whole K.Michelle situation, the K.Michelle interview that I talked about in last week's video, which was linked at the end of the video, she wanted to address something. So one of the things she wanted to address was this whole Twitter thing with her and Lil Kim. So apparently the night of the VMAs, you know, K.Michelle was tweeting, and as Nicki Minaj was on the stage, she performed like I think 3 times that night. So as she was on the stage performing, you know, she was, you know, just giving her accolades and, you know, saying, yes, you know, you're the queen of rap and whatever the case may be. And according to K.Michelle, she was saying that Lil Kim fans, you know, came for her for calling, you know, Nicki the queen of rap. So then apparently I think Kay felt some type of way as far as, you know, Kim should have like some type of control over her fans and stuff like that and whatnot. So it was this whole big spat on social media as far as, you know, K.Michelle, you know, giving, you know, Nicki Minaj like her accolades for doing what she did that night at the award show. And then she even went to the point where she said that she felt some type of way to the point she texted, you know, Lil Kim and was like, that wasn't right, like you could have just, you know, hit me up personally on my phone instead of coming from me like on social media. And then she mentioned how like Lil Kim talked about her being like her daughter's like godmother, and you know, as you heard or as you've seen in the video, she was basically saying K.Michelle's a nut or whatever the case may be, and she doesn't even know her well enough to have her be her daughter's godmother. I don't know, because I don't even know both of them personally. Well, I did say K.Michelle was my best friend, but needless to say, I mean, I don't know. I feel like moving on to the Nicki Minaj segment of, you know, the interview, when it comes to this, you know, Lil Kim, she's one of those artists, because she was part of like the golden era of hip hop, and you know, she is a legend in her right. You kind of want to, you know, be careful of some of the things that you say. So when I first heard that part of, you know, before the interview was like completely finished, when she said, you know, Nicki Minaj is like obsessed, and she was waiting to say that Queen Bee line referring to the Flawless remix. First thing I said was, so we not gonna act like we don't call Beyonce Queen Bee. And then, you know, Lil Kim said, no, Beyonce is Queen Beyonce, but who am I, Queen Bee? And yes, we know you asked Queen Bee, but come on, it's 2014, you're not the only Queen Bee, get over it. So it's like, I feel like she made that particular line in the song as a reason for her to come and do like the diss records that she did do right after like the Flawless remix was, you know, released. And then her manager, a guy by the name of Big Fendi, I don't really know of him that much. He was also in the interview, so I'll link the interview below so you guys can actually watch the whole interview in its entirety. But he basically said how he, you know, started Nicki Minaj, how he gave her name and stuff, how he owns her domain website, how she's unloyal and stuff like that. So he also, you know, has like beef with Nicki, so by him managing Kim is like egging it on, and it's just like. And then of course, like Kim, later on this week, she went to 106 & Park because she's actually like promoting her new mixtape, Hardcore 2K14. And as always, everything about her interviews, it has to go to like Nicki Minaj, whether like what's the beef, or can you guys just ever work together and just end it. And I mean, I feel like this whole thing is like a bad look on like female hip hop. And I mean, of course people are going to ask about it because it's like such a controversial topic, but I mean, I feel like Lil Kim brings the controversy because like when she did the diss records like recently, and at the end of the day, you don't hear nothing from Nicki Minaj. You hear nothing. The only thing I've heard from Nicki Minaj is that she's not only performing, but she is hosting the 2014 EMAs, which is the European Music Awards, which is like the European version of like the VMAs. So, I mean, you hear nothing. So, I mean, if I say I mean one more time. But, you know, you want to respect Kim, but it's like, Kim, come on, like, you're a legend in your right as far as like female hip hop goes. So it's like, when are you gonna act like it, basically? Like, no disrespect to her. And yeah, I mean, I just wanted to end So, I mean, segueing on into my next topic, which is also related to female hip-hop, I do want to talk about the season finale of Sisterhood of Hip Hop. About 2 videos ago, I did talk about, you know, Sisterhood of Hip Hop. That was a show that I did like, and now the first season of the show has come to an end. And one thing I liked about the season finale, and I wish can be done, like, on Lil Kim's part, is that Eve made an appearance on the show, and you know, she was basically, you know, talking to the girls and, you know, giving them advice, answering any questions they had as far as like being a female in hip-hop, you know, basically kind of like a big sister, like mentoring them and stuff like that. And it's like, I feel like Kim, I think like with certain artists she can do that because she does have a protege by the name of like Tiffany Fox. But I mean, as far as like artists such as like Lil Kim and stuff like that, it's always like tit for tat, and it's like you guys are not in the same age group, you guys are not from the same generation, so it's like, why not like be the helping hand, help like the next generation, because Nicki does represent this generation, what's here and what's right now. So I felt like what Eve displayed on the season finale of Sisterhood of Hip Hop was like a great example of what like all of these, you know, elder female rappers should be doing. So I really much enjoyed that part of the show. Not to mention that on the season finale they did have their showcase and everyone did a great job. But I mean, if it was anybody out of the entire cast that stood out to me the most was Saya. Now, I'm not saying that just because I'm from Brooklyn and she's from Brooklyn, but because like she just displayed like that real hardcore rap. Like she just, you know, she did it. And out of everybody that's on the cast, I would consider her to be like the underdog. So you know how like those victory stories that come when the underdog starts to rise and stuff like that. Because as far as like today, from my knowledge, she's still like the only person part of the cast that does not have a deal. You know, Brianna Perry, she's been down with Po' Boy Music, and she has a contract with, you know, Atlantic. Diamond, she has a contract with RCA. You know, Naima Supreme, she's down with Timbaland and his, you know, his team and stuff like that. And then the other girl, Bia, on the show we actually see her finally get her record deal with RCA. And then, you know, Saya was kind of like the girl that kind of struggled, and you know, she's just very much about her music and hustling and doing what she had to do. And I mean, there was obstacles as far as like her whole girlfriend situation, but I mean, she like overcame, and you know, like she definitely represented, and you can just tell like how humble and hungry. Not saying that the other girls aren't humble and hungry, but she was very humbled and hungry. Also shown in the, you know, season finale, she was in the studio and she was recording a new song, and you know, Ja Rule came through, and like just the shockness on her face and like the humbleness and like the advice that she was getting from him, you can tell like she really wants this. So I felt like out of all the cast members that was on, or out of all the cast members on the season finale, she definitely shined like the most. And I hear that they're renewed for a new season. So when they start to record a new season, I just can't wait to see like what was the results of the first season. And definitely on Saya's part, I'm really hoping that, you know, she's getting what she's been wanting, because from what I've seen on television and from social media and stuff like that, she's very much deserving of what, you know, she wants. So that was a lot. Okay, so moving on to the fourth topic, I do want to talk about, okay, let's move on to Aretha Franklin. So, the Queen of Soul, Aretha Franklin. Like Lil Kim, I feel like there are legends and you have to watch what you say. So, I'll just start off with the facts first. So, Aretha Franklin announced this week that she will be releasing a new CD entitled Aretha Franklin Sings. Let me say it properly. Aretha Franklin Sings The Great Diva Hits, and that album will be released on October 21st. And basically that is an album of covers. She's, you know, taking different, you know, classic songs, and she's, you know, covering them and, you know, put them into like a compilation like album. So the first single off of that album is Adele's Rolling in the Deep. So of course she's Aretha Franklin. She doesn't sing it exactly like Adele, but she makes it her own. And it was okay. I mean, it was cool because she's Aretha Franklin. So I mean, but I think where the disconnect with that comes from is this is Aretha Franklin and Adele, and I think it's very, you know, very flattering as far as her, you know, taking an Adele song and labeling it like a diva hit, and you know, basically I guess you can say somewhat paying homage to Adele, because Adele is also another singer who's very much part of this generation. But I feel like because Aretha Franklin has like this long line of, you know, history, and you know, she's just one of the greatest, and then you pick a song from now, it's a disconnect somewhere, and I felt like there was like no type of connection. It's like if the rapper Roxanne Shante was out here rapping in Anaconda. Like, she's like old school hip hop, like, you know, she's like one of the first MCs to do it, and it's like Anaconda's like now, you know, it's like two different age groups. It's just, it doesn't flow. That's my opinion as far as like Rolling in the Deep goes. And then aside from that, to promote the album, because it is coming out this month, Aretha Franklin did stop by the Late Show with David Letterman this week to perform the song. And again, you have to watch what you say, because she's a legend. So I'll just say, I'll put the performance here so you can get a clip. So if you want to see the performance for yourself, you can head over to my blog, jade-ashley94.blogspot.com, to check it out for yourself. But I will say, one of the interesting parts of the performance that had everyone talking this week is that, and I was watching a performance, I'm sitting there watching, and then one of the background singers, I said, she looked too familiar. And I said, that's Sissy Houston, Whitney mother. I said, hold on, what's she doing background singing? And then on top of that, the fact that she was doing background singing, she was not in sync with the other background singers. This was like a total of 5 singers, and she's already, you know, singled out from the rest of the background singers because she's like Sissy Houston. So it's like, of course, we're automatically going to look to her, and she was not in sync with the moves the whole performance. She looked like she didn't know the words, and I was like, damn, Sissy. But then again, like I said, you have to watch what you say when it comes to these legends, so you just let them be. And that is the case with it, you know? So yeah, so the last topic of discussion, I do want to talk about new music movies that's coming out. About a good 2-3 weeks ago, I did mention the Aaliyah biopic, and Wendy Williams revealed that the movie will be coming to our television sooner than we thought. Instead of early 2015, the movie will be premiering on Lifetime on November 15th, and this week she made it a hot clip of the day on her show and showed us the first official trailer that, you know, the first official trailer that was released for the movie. So guys, check it out.
It takes more than some hot producer to create a superstar. It takes the right artist.
Yo, B, you realize what you got in this girl? You're gonna be nobody like her.
Bow down to a goddess.
Aaliyah.
Goddess. 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 Bow down to the goddess. Goddess. Got it.
Yeah, so I know that there was like so much, you know, controversy surrounding this film in particular, because one, they did not have like the input, nor did they have the blessing of Aaliyah's family, and then like the whole casting situation with Aaliyah. I want to say I'm sold, but I'm not sold. Honestly, I'm just gonna be truthfully, like, I'm not sold. So like I said before, I will be in front of my television watching on November 15th, and I will be critiquing it whether I like it or not, and I'll be completely honest. But I'm hoping that, honestly, truthfully, does the legacy of Aaliyah some type of justice. I mean, the girl somewhat resembles, but at the same time, I mean, yeah, I don't know. I mean, like I said, the Aaliyah biopic will be premiering on Lifetime on November 15th, so check it out, because I definitely will be checking it out. Now, as far as other movies, this week, Nas's documentary, Time is Illmatic, was released this past Tuesday on October 2nd, and as we all know, this year is the 20th anniversary of his debut album Illmatic, which released in April of 2014. And he's done, like, throughout the months, he's done like a lot of celebrations, whether it was like have a party. I know he did like a concert, I think it was like at Lincoln Center, where he did like the entire album, and he had like an orchestra and stuff like that. So I guess you can say this was like the last final puzzle piece to the celebration of the 20th anniversary of the album. I know it was a part of Tribeca Film Festival, and it premiered in 29 cities and 40 theaters for one night only. So I mean, I didn't get to see it obviously because it's like one night only, but Nas did go on Angie Martinez's show on Power 105.1 and did say that the documentary will be on cable. So I'm definitely looking forward to seeing that because it's, you know, something that I feel like it's important to see. And I will, like, when they start promoting and saying, hey, it'll come on this channel, this time, this day, I'll definitely be here to let you guys know, because I'm sure, like myself, there's some of you guys out there that want to see it. So yeah. And what I found more like, what I found interesting or kind of funny was one of like the taglines for the promotion of the documentary was, where were you when Illmatic dropped? So I sat here and I said to myself, I said, where was I when Illmatic dropped? I said, April 1994. And then I was like, oh, I was like in a crib, or I was like in a stroller or something like that, because I was actually born in 94. So I mean, yeah, I was born in February 1994. So yeah, I think it's like pretty dope. I think everyone should, like, if you get the chance, I'm gonna see, is it on bootleg? I don't want to like bootleg it, but I mean, I really do want to see it. I mean, 94 was that year. Aside from me being born in 94, it was that year as far as like classic, you know, New York hip hop albums, because we had not only Illmatic release, but you know, Biggie's album Ready to Die also came out in like September 94. So yeah. But like I said, the Aaliyah biopic will be out on November 15th on Lifetime, and when Time Is Illmatic comes to cable, I'll definitely be sure to let you guys know when it will be on. So yeah. Okay guys, so I want to thank you for tuning into this week's video of When the Beat Drops, and like always, I have to remind you guys to comment on my videos, like my videos, subscribe to my channel, and also share them with others. And this week's song of the week would have to be Pretend by Tinashe, featuring A$AP Rocky. The track appears on her debut album Aquarius. Shout outs to all of my Aquarians. It will be releasing on October 7th, so I hope you guys enjoy, and I'll see you guys next week. Bye.
Give it up all night.